Hey guys, sorry I've been out of contact for a little bit. Some stuff happened to me. Um, I don't want to go into too much detail on here, but I do want to let y'all know it did relate to a medication I took called Abilify. So, the book, I think Revelation, there's a word in the Greek text, Pharmakeia. This word is an all-encompassing ancient Greek word talking about occult and pagan practices, as well as drugs. You know, in those days, it would have been probably opium or the coca leaf or whatever they had back then. There's so many more out there than what we know of. So, this medication called Abilify, I have no idea how it's made. From what I understand, it's synthesizing things in a lab. Here, I might as well look it up for the video. Look it up with me. It's given both orally in tablets and through an intravenous. It's synthesized, so it's a lab-made drug. This drug made me stay up for four days. I got a few winks of sleep, but I was literally afraid to go to sleep. They gave it to me with another drug called hydroxyzine that I asked for to help my anxiety. I had been using cannabis for a while. I admit that. Herbs are discussed in the Bible for medical and emotional uses. Take with it what you want. I'm not totally. I didn't put them here. But there's something behind these lab made drugs. Either way, the word pharmakeia isn't spelled with an F, it's a PH. Makes the F sound. So, pharmakeia, pharmaceuticals. You don't think there's something there? Made me stay up for 4 days. I was afraid. I'm just going to get into it. I was afraid there was stuff coming out of the walls. My blood pressure was high. Like, my blood pressure was high, and I had to go to the hospital for them to monitor me. I've stopped taking the Abilify, and I'm feeling a lot better. Um, I'm admittedly very angry because of how many mistrials and everything else I've gone through with medication. It, guys, it was awful. It was like nothing I've ever experienced in my life. I was up 4 days. Okay? I thought I was going to die. I don't want that for any of you. This is why, okay? When man sinned, all of this stuff came from that. All of it. All of the distortions happen from this. There's no other explanation I can possibly think of. Not think of, I have the proof. So, clearly, you can even look at me, I still have a few after effects just from dealing with all of it and going through it. It was very nasty. Guys, if any parents especially, okay? And I'm not saying medicines are totally and completely evil. I'm not. Okay? God healed through medicine in the Bible. What I am saying is, okay, parents especially, okay? If a doctor wants to prescribe this to your child, you need to get your child blood tested and you need to get their brain scanned. And even that might not be enough. Guys, you gotta count the cost, okay? Would you want your child being up for 4 straight days? I mean, guys, I was scared, okay? And not too much scares me anymore. But I was against the wall, petrified. That kind of scared. I don't want you going through that. I don't want your children going through it. Like, you gotta understand, this isn't just some small thing. Staying up for 4 days is not some small thing. I mean, if I literally have to have an EKG put on and a blood pressure cuff attached to make sure I'm not gonna die because of a pill about this big, okay, something ain't right there. I mean, even still, my brain does not feel totally normal. It's getting better. I'm much better than I was. There's another symptom with Abilify called akathisia. It's involuntary movements of one, and I'm doing it just for an example. See, it it's uncontrolled movements of one or more parts of the body. I think it can even with the mouth a little bit. I had a few muscle spasms in my face when I was on it, but starting out it was great. It helped me focus. It helped me do a lot of different things, but I ended up with the other drug called hydroxyzine, which is used in conjunction with a few other drugs, believe it or not, to make an amphetamine. It kind of had that effect. Guys, please, I say it again. Parents, if someone wants to put your child on this, I would. I even if a doctor recommended it to my kid, no way. No way. Never. I'm sorry. My child, I'm not willing to have them go through this. Like you'd have me getting an EKG machine, buying a personal one for my house, and a blood pressure cuff. If my kid were on any kind of medication, I don't have kids, but I'm saying if I did, like you'd have to be out of your mind. When I was in the hospital, they had to get me back on a medication I used to take called trazodone, and it worked to get me to sleep, but I'm getting off that too because it's not been helping my mood. I've been irritable with my family. I don't like who I am on it, so therefore I'm getting off of that. Medicine can be so helpful. It can be, I'm not denying it. It can be the most harmful thing you will ever see. I am very, very both disappointed and horrified that this may be getting prescribed to children. Look what it did to me. There's people getting prescribed 150 milligrams of this drug. Guys, I'm not saying it wouldn't ever help anybody. Obviously, it does. But I'm just putting this out there so people know this isn't some kind of joke. These medicines and these actions medical professionals take have consequences. And all I'm asking people to do research, be responsible. You don't know what you are getting into. When they help people, they're a gift from God. When they don't, it's demonic power and demonic activity. What I went through was absolutely demonic activity because I was under the power of something. It wasn't God, I can tell you that much. If that wasn't God, my friends. Here's the I'm going to Revelation 21. Okay, the Greek word for sorcerers in Revelation 21:8 is pharmakoi. Pharma. Pharma. Pharmakoi. Pharmakeia. Pharmaceuticals. Pharmacy. Do you want to tell me there's not a connection there? I wish I had filmed myself, but I probably subconsciously thought filming it would make it permanent. I'm gonna get off all this lab made stuff. And I never want to look back to it. Guys, all I ask is that you exercise the utmost caution because you can't take chances with your kids. One thing goes wrong and it goes wrong. Can't take it back. Yeah, if they go through this, you might be able to get it better. You might. It's not a guarantee. People have died because they die from the symptoms, or they die because they commit suicide because they can't take the symptoms. Do you want to take that chance with your kids? I don't, and I hope you don't either. Jesus Christ came to this earth to die for all of our sins. I'm not denying that. Okay, so I'm going to close this video, and I'm going to give all of you the gospel of salvation. The book of 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4. Moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preached unto you, which also ye have received, and wherein ye stand, by which also ye are saved, if ye keep in memory what I preached unto you, unless ye have believed in vain. For I delivered unto you first of all that which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the Scriptures, and that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day according to the Scriptures. I'm going to read the rest of this. And that he was seen of Cephas, Peter, then of the 12. After that he was seen of above 500 brethren at once, of whom the greater part remain unto this present, but some are fallen asleep. That means died. After that he was seen of James, then of all the apostles. And last of all he was seen of me also, Paul, as of one born out of due time. I used to fear God. Now I have the fear of the Lord. That's the beginning of wisdom. Believe the gospel to be saved. There is no other reason, and there is no other way. Do not take chances with your children. Please, I am begging you.